So you want to read more? I'm your gal. So I've made a list of things that I feel are helpful if you would like to read more. If you are already a reader and want to increase the amount you read, or if you don't read at all and you would like it to be your hobby, or if you just want to read more often than on your 2-week holiday, which is for some reason the only time that people seem to find the time to read. Here's some tips. Number 1, stick into genres you're already interested in other media forms. So that might be TV, it might be movies, it might be magazines, comic books, graphics, YouTube videos. What other media can you consume? Podcasts. I think that's about it. Anything that you consume that someone else makes that is about a topic. What topic is it? It might be crime, it might be romance, it might be comedy, it might be, wow, it's really hard to think of topics off the top of your head. Sports, finance, like it could be literally anything. If you consume that and enjoy it in another media form, most likely you will enjoy a book about that. Same goes for fiction and non-fiction. If you enjoy mostly watching documentaries, read non-fiction books, read memoirs, read true stories, because that is what you're going to enjoy and that will kickstart you into reading. And because you've enjoyed it, you will want to read more. So picking genres that you don't like, and you're creating friction for a new hobby. If you mostly like watching murder mystery thrillers on the TV and you pick up a rom-com or you pick up a classic, you're gonna hate it because it's not what you're interested in. So if you want to increase the amount that you read, first of all, look at the genres of the books that you're trying to read. Number 2, set a goal. It doesn't have to be a large goal. Make it achievable, because if it's not achievable and attainable, again, you will fail. So maybe you set minutes, maybe you set a time of day, maybe you set a page goal. You might say, I want to read 10 pages when I wake up in the morning. I want to read 10 pages on my lunch break. If you don't want to do pages, then you can do, I want to read for 15 minutes some part of my day, because every day is different. Some people can't set a time. Fine. Just say 15 minutes. Whenever you have 15 minutes, read your book. You can habit stack, implement it into your morning routine. If you sit on the toilet for a while, take your book. I don't know, maybe you get the train to work, maybe you get the bus to work, take your book. Anything that you're already going to do, habit stack reading as a hobby, just for a small amount of time. Set it as that daily goal, and again, that will help you implement that habit into your life seamlessly because you're not creating friction. The idea here to start a new hobby is to have as little friction as possible so that you can enjoy the thing that you want to implement. Once you already enjoy it, then you can start to branch out. But when you're trying to create a new hobby, you want it to be easy peasy. Thirdly, why do you want to read? Is it because you want to spend less time on your phone? Is it because you want to learn something new? Is it because you want to find a hobby that you can do at home that doesn't cost very much money? The library's free, you can get audiobooks at, that's my 5th tip. I just gave you away my secrets. You can access books for free. Buying books is expensive. However, there is ways that you can do it cheaper, i.e. library, secondhand donations. In my village, we have take a book, leave a book boxes. There's like 4. So that's free. If you have something like that near you, use those facilities. So ask yourself why you want to read, and then use that information to help you set goals and pick the books that you want to read. If it's because you want to learn more, say, I want to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book on this topic per day. So you've got your genre, your goal, and your why, and that will help you implement this hobby into your life. Number 4, ambience. It matters, okay? If you set yourself a nice cozy little space to read your book, you'll want to do it more. So if it's like spring right now, but if you read on an evening or it's winter, light a candle, comfy little, get your blankets out, cozy up, and then that sets the scene to read your book. It's spring right now, so the UK is currently enjoying some lovely sunny weather, which is a rarity. So for me, I've been soaking up the sun in the garden with my book because I don't know when I'm going to get this opportunity again. This could be the last time we see the sun until next year. Touch wood. I don't want that to happen. However, this where you read matters. Kind of goes against what I just said about reading in public transport or reading on the toilet. But If you're wanting to do a bit longer than like 10-15 minutes when you have the chance, if you want to read for half an hour to an hour, make yourself comfortable. Another thing that I love to do is play an ambience video in the background. So in the winter I'll have like a little fire or something cozy, like the library ones where they have like background noise. In the summer I like to play ones that are like tweeting birds, jazz, and that drowns out other noises that you might be able to hear whilst you're reading, which can be distracting. And it just makes you feel like now it's time to read. So that's number 4. 5. This is one of my favourite things to do, and a recent thing that I do, but it's reading books that relate to your current situation. So maybe it's another new hobby that you've picked up. So say running, you start reading books about running because you're interested in it, it's current to you, and you're still reading, you're still learning, you're still spending time away from your phone. You might read books about your new hobby. You might read books set in the place where you're going on holiday, set in the country where you're going on holiday. You might read books set in your hometown. You might read books where the character is similar to you. Anything that you can relate to is going to make you enjoy that book more, and therefore enjoy reading more. So you will do the hobby. See? 6. I think 6. Just enjoy it. Stop putting pressure on it. Don't force yourself. Like I said, set a goal, but there doesn't need to be any force in that goal. It can be discipline, because without discipline, you will struggle to do anything. But enjoy those 10 pages. Enjoy. Yeah? Who knows what I was saying, because I sure don't. Number 6, enjoy it to enjoy it. Enjoy it to read. Enjoy it for the time that's just for yourself. Enjoy it for the time of presence, away from your phone, away from screens, learning something new, unwinding the mind. Reading is one of those things that you can only read. Unless you listen to an audiobook, all you can do when you're reading is be reading. It's physically impossible to have 2 things going on. You can't do it. And it's very hard to read whilst doing anything else. Like physically read, not audiobooks. So just enjoy the time that you spend reading, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes. Just relish it in that quiet time that is just for you. That's one of the fastest ways to enjoy a new hobby, is just appreciate the time that you're spending doing that hobby. Lastly, I should have put this earlier in the video because this is a bit of a functional logistical one, but number 7 is audiobooks. Now, if you're already a podcast girly, or what's the male version of girly? I don't know. Boy or girly. Audiobooks is the avenue for you to come into the reading world, because it's the same. If you listen to a podcast and you enjoy podcasts, audiobooks are the same. Find a version of the audiobook that is either by the author or by someone with a nice voice, because especially classics, the readers can be a little monotonous. You need to find someone whose voice you enjoy listening to for that copy of the book. If it's a memoir or a non-fiction, then find the one that's by the author, because that's the most authentic. But audiobooks are fantastic, that you can listen to them when you're driving, you can listen to them when you're doing other things, when you're cleaning your house, when you're in the shower, when you're on a walk, when you're literally doing anything where you can have headphones or play something out loud, you can listen to an audiobook. It's the fastest way to read more if you have a busy life, because whatever you're doing, you can put headphones in, unless you're working or talking to someone. If you have any time where you're doing a task on your own, listen to an audiobook. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, you will hit that yearly reading goal. I personally listen to audiobooks mainly non-fiction. The only time I'll listen to a fiction is if I really want to get it finished and I don't have time to physically sit down and read, like I'm driving somewhere. I'll maybe listen to a fiction book. Mostly non-fiction. I like to listen to non-fiction books on my walks. I usually buy the physical copy as well, and then when I get home, highlight or note down anything that I listened to that I felt was important. But you don't have to do that. That's just what I like to do personally. I like to annotate my books and take notes. So that's kind of why I only listen to non-fiction as audiobooks, because it's easier to come home and then find the bullet points, find the chapters in non-fiction. But yes, audiobooks are a great option. I'm not actually sure what the cost is on Audible. I never use Audible. I mainly listen to them on Spotify because if you have premium, which most people do, I think, you get 15 hours. I think it's 15 hours, which is usually like 1 to 2 books depending on the length. I tandem physical books with audiobooks, so listening to an audiobook for me is fairly, like, I never go over the 15 hours. So you get, that's completely, well, it's not free because you're paying for Spotify, but you're getting free audiobooks because you're paying for Spotify for music, so the audiobooks are just a bonus. I'm not sure if there's any free services for audiobooks, but if there is, give it a little Google. If you think that might work for you to read more books, then give it a little Google and try that as an option, because that is a really good gateway to getting into including more books in your life. I personally count audiobooks as reading. Some people don't. I prefer physical reading. Like I said, I only really listen to non-fiction audiobooks. However, you're absorbing the same knowledge, and not everyone finds reading easy. Reading doesn't come easily to every single person. So audiobooks are a great option for those people that don't have the time or don't feel comfortable with a book, feel a bit intimidated by a physical book. So yeah, audiobooks. Yeah, I hope these were helpful if you want to read more and want to include more reading in your life. Because reading, there is never a downside. Whatever you're reading is so beneficial for the mind. Reading is so beneficial for how you feel, how you exist in the world, you know. You're absorbing more knowledge, you're reading from different perspectives, you're understanding the world better, and you're spending more time present without screens, which is always a bonus. I hope this was helpful, and see you later.